Hey y'all, this is Anthony. I'm a sports dietitian, certified strength and conditioning specialist, certified specialist in sports dietetics, and you can see that I've read a couple magazines about getting fit and shape, so I should know what I'm talking about, maybe by now. Today I'm not talking to clients or potential clients, I'm talking to other dietitians and coaches, and the message I have for you is to stop giving out meal plans. Yeah, they don't work. And so I'm going to kind of go over why they don't work and what you can do as a solution to, the standard meal plan template that you normally see or clients expect to get. So when I'm talking about a meal plan template, I mean you're listing out all the types of meals that your client can eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, maybe snacks, and maybe you put some thought into it, like you ask them what their favorite foods are or how much knowledge they have about using the kitchen, and you put all this together and you give it to them, right? And then 3-4 days later you don't hear back from them, or they don't follow it. And why is that? Well, there's a couple different reasons. Number one is that first of all, these things are available everywhere, right? People don't need meal plans. They think they need meal plans, but it's kind of like when an athlete comes to me and is like, hey, I want to get shredded, what sort of supplements should I take? That's not really what they need. I need to look at their nutrition and their training program and get into it from a fundamental level. So even if that's what people request or they think that's what they need, I mean, they're out there. Punch in 1,200 calorie or 2,000 calorie diet on Google. See what you get. Yeah, a lot of things pop up. Why aren't people using those? I mean, cookbooks exist. Why don't people just go through the cookbook to find healthy meals? And the reason is because there's no sort of buy-in with that. There's no opportunity for motivational interviewing or counseling when you're doing this. You sort of collect some data, put it together, and give it back to them. And the other reason I don't recommend doing meal plans is it really cheapens what you do as a coach or a dietitian. People think that that's the solution that they need, or they just need a good template to follow, but it doesn't work with 99% of people because there's no co-construction or buy-in or anything like that. So what I do recommend is not ditching the meal plan idea altogether, but making a co-constructed meal plan, and that's what I have here. What I want to talk to you guys about today is what that looks like and how to implement that. So a co-constructed meal plan, as you can see, is going to be a blank template, and this is an actionable item. What I do is I put this on the clipboard and you pass it over the table. You give this to your client and you walk through every sort of meal or situation and guide them through that. That also gives you an opportunity for what's called motivational interviewing. Motivational interviewing is the idea that your client already has the solution to most of their problems. It's already there within them. And by co-constructing a solution to their problems to help them reach their goals, you get client buy-in, you get self-determination with that, and it also gives you the chance to probe and ask questions as you sort of read the body language or the maybe some pushback from the client to sort of see, all right, do we need to tackle this in a different way? Like, for example, I may be talking about breakfast options, and the person's just really hesitant to put stuff down on paper, and I can use that as a cue to say, all right, well, maybe they're not willing to wake up early enough to eat a breakfast, or we need to make this something that they eat when they get to the office or on the way to school or work. So that gives you the opportunity to sort of get some feedback, do that motivational interviewing with them. What my meal plan looks like is I break it up into 3 categories, and it's called fast, slow, and on the go. And the reason for that is that there are times when an individual is going to need to make a fast meal, so that's something 5 minutes or less, maybe it's semi-homemade. Part of it comes out of a frozen meal, but the other part is maybe some healthy foods that you add to it. The slow meal is what people normally think about when they request a meal plan or when they're trying to eat healthier. Is like, what do you cook? What do you put together with those whole food ingredients? And, you know, that's obviously something that you want to go over with them. And then the on-the-go component of that is saying like, hey, sometimes you can't eat fast, you can't even do it slow. What are you going to do when you're going out to eat, or what are some prepackaged things that you can grab? And you may be thinking, why would a dietitian, you know, a nutritionist, somebody who's, you know, versed in that, be encouraging people to eat stuff out of a box or you know, through the drive-through? Well, the reason is that your clients are doing that anyway. And so they're going to keep doing that. What you need to do is guide them to the right sort of choices when they're in that situation, and really guide them toward progression and not perfection. You want to be involved in that process, and that's why a meal plan template simply doesn't work, and this co-constructed meal plan absolutely does. And you can use this with any sort of nutrition philosophy that you have. You know, maybe you use the USDA My Plate, or you're trying to teach intuitive eating, or you're trying to do something like intermittent fasting or the paleo diet. I mean, I personally have opinions about, you know, all of those sorts of nutrition philosophies, and I'd be happy to get into that at some other point. But, you know, whatever yours is, certainly using a meal plan, co-constructed template like the one I have here, can be used with any sort of philosophy. You don't want to just give somebody a bunch of knowledge and then send them out without any sort of practical application. And we know the same thing when we're teaching you know, young kids or young students, right? Okay, so you talk about, you know, this concept in math, and you show them how to do the you know, you talk about the equation, how it works, but then what do you do to reinforce that? You give them a sheet of paper with the problem on it, and you have them work through it with you. Hopefully you had a good math teacher. You have them, I didn't, that's why I became a dietitian, right? Ha, just kidding. You have them work through that with you, and then you can sort of see, all right, what do they struggle with? You can give them some feedback, and everybody just is more successful in the end. And when your client is successful, that means that you are successful. So I hope you guys found this helpful. Yeah, it's not a big change, but it is a twist on the traditional meal plan. So let me know in the comments. Hey, is this something that has worked for you? Do you think I'm full of baloney? Or do you have some other suggestions for helping somebody be able to make the concept of nutrition go into something that, you know, actually gives them some concrete examples there? Anyways, I'm Anthony, dietitian, strength coach, business owner. You know, you can look me up, check me out, but I hope you found this helpful. And like I said, let me know down below. Thanks.